Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on a new foundation that I've been trying out, and I wanted to review it for you guys. And the foundation that I'm referring to is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, and this is the brand new foundation from Urban Decay, you guys. So this is the box here, and here is the actual packaging. Now the packaging I love. I mean, it's very sleek. It's a gunmetal cylinder type of container or bottle. And I really do like this Urban Decay design here, which allows you to get like a little bit of a peekaboo into the actual pigment color, so that you can kind of match yourself a little bit. And it's just typical Urban Decay, right? It's just really badass, and they're really good with their packaging. So I really do like this this packaging, and I think it would also be great for traveling, by the way, just because it is pretty thin. I've always loved Urban Decay's packaging and their foundation. So like I said, this is the All Nighter foundation, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, you guys know that I have been obsessed with the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. I feel like that is just like the best foundation ever. It just gives such a nice flawless finish. It's a very thin consistency, so it never feels heavy on the skin, and like I said, it's just really nice. So Urban Decay decided to come out with this All Nighter foundation, and they're basically saying that it's like 3 times the pigment of the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. So the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation is described as a full coverage matte foundation. Unlike their Naked Skin, which is a demi matte foundation, this one is fully matte, you guys. It is an oil-free foundation, and it comes in 24 to 25 shades. Depending on the websites that I've looked at, Ulta, Sephora, and the Urban Decay website, I've seen it varying between 24 to 25 shades. They also claim that this foundation is waterproof and paraben-free, and it's also a foundation that you do not need to build to get the coverage. It's supposed to be one swipe and done, unlike the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. Depending on your problem areas, you may have to go over them a few more times. So this one is claiming to be a one and done. So I have a demo, you guys. So before applying this foundation, as I'm putting it on my hand, I'm noticing, guys, that the consistency is a little bit thicker, well, a lot thicker actually, than the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. It's not thick as in heavy, but the consistency itself is more of a cream or a normal liquid foundation, maybe like the MAC Studio Fix Fluid or your Becca foundation, the complexion cream, or something like that, and not as runny as that Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation, like where you put that on your hand and it kind of just rolls down your hand. This one will stay in place pretty much. So as you can see, I'm starting on the side where I have the most imperfections, and I'm using my beauty blender. And you guys know with the beauty blender, it does diffuse out that foundation pretty well, so you're not gonna get as full coverage as you may get with a brush. So if you guys feel like you need a brush, go right ahead, but I love to use a damn beauty blender just because I like that it takes all the work out for me. So as you guys can see, I'm not building up this coverage, and it looks really amazing on my skin. It's just flawless, like it's taking away every single imperfection, and I'm not having to conceal. I did not color correct or anything like that. So I really do enjoy that aspect of the foundation. So here goes my thoughts on the foundation, you guys. After I've applied this foundation, and like I said, I've worn this foundation a few times before talking to you guys today. This foundation does oxidize, okay? It does oxidize. And it oxidizes with a pink undertone. Now, if you are neutral and this oxidizes on you, you're going to be able to get that. You're going to tell. It's going to be a very warm pinkish tone. For me, the number 10 shade in the Urban Decay Naked Skin, because it's so thin, it has a pink undertone to it, but it's not as intense because the pigment is not as intense as the All Nighter. So I definitely notice a huge difference. On the camera, you probably can't tell, but there is a difference. Now I have beat my face, you know, with contour and highlight and all of that. So that makes a difference, you guys. But the foundation definitely does oxidize. Now for me in the summertime, the All Nighter works perfectly fine, right? And if you don't want it to be too pink. I always use the Max Mineralized Skin Finish in dark, and that's a very neutral kind of yellow undertone powder. It doesn't have a lot of pigment in it, but it really does balance it out for me. So it works for me in the summertime when I have, you know, just like a slight tan. Now if I were to wear this in a winter time, I don't think I would be able to wear the number 10 shade. I haven't tried out the 9.75 shade, which is supposed to be a little bit more on the neutral side or yellow tone side, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to wear this foundation at all in the you know, winter months, because the color is good, but once it oxidizes, it just gets pink. Now I need this exact shade just in a neutral undertone in the winter time, if you know what I mean. And by me going to a 9.75, it may just be way too light. So I would have to try that out to see if that one would oxidize pink or if it would oxidize more golden. I'm not really sure, but I do know that I am perfect 10 all year round pretty much in the naked skin, and with the all-nighter I think it's my perfect summer color with the oxidation. But like I said, it does not go on as pink as it is after a few hours. So it is extremely matte, you guys. I will say that. I do still set my face like I mentioned to you guys, but as you can see, my face is pretty matte. Now after 6 hours of wearing this foundation, you guys, I do notice that a little oil starts to seep through a little bit, or I just get a little shinier in my T-zone area, particularly around my nose. I don't think I get that with my Urban Decay Naked Skin, and it may be because the consistency is just so much thinner. But by this being a thicker consistency, I just noticed that it gets a little bit what I call full coveragey because anytime I wear my Becca foundation or even my Kat Von D foundation, I still get that same kind of look. And it's not that the foundation looks bad, it's just now I can tell that I'm wearing foundation in this area, if that makes any sense. So you may have to blot or something like that if you care that much. I'm not one that touches up my foundation throughout the day, so that's why I was able to notice that. Once I put my foundation on or my makeup on at 6 o'clock in the morning, I am done until evening time when I come home, take a shower, and wash my face. So like I said, you guys, this foundation looks awesome. I mean, if you're going out at night, this is one to wear. You can feel this a little bit on the skin, not in a heavy way, but it kind of reminds me of the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and how you can just kind of tell like it's tightening up. It's not as extreme as that foundation because I don't wear that foundation because of that. To me, it feels like paint drying on my face. This doesn't feel as intense as that, but it does have that kind of primer feel to it. So if you are familiar with maybe like the Becca matte primer or the Makeup Forever primer, and you know how it gives you kind of like that tight feeling, after a while you do feel that with this foundation once it dries down on the skin. That could be a con for some of you out there. One thing I will say about this foundation though, and I usually wouldn't say this about very matte foundations, but if you have oily skin or if you have dry skin, you will be able to wear this foundation. This foundation is comfortable on the skin enough to where even if you're dry and you moisturize underneath, you shouldn't have any problems, you guys, wearing this foundation. Some foundations are just so dry that you can see every dry spot on your face. I don't get that with this foundation. I still feel like it's supple and it's pliable. It just doesn't look like dry powder all over my face, if that makes any sense. So if you're dry, I would definitely give this a chance. Just try it out, go and ask for a sample or something like that, because I don't see that this would be so dry on the skin that you guys couldn't wear it. Now for oily girls, I think that it's a great foundation for us, but I still feel like we have to blot a little bit with it. But the only difference and the only reason why I would keep this foundation is simply because it is so pigmented, you guys. I love the way this foundation looks. This didn't just like take this one and throw, you know, make me throw this foundation away. I love this foundation, but I still feel like with my Urban Decay Naked Skin, it's just a lot more versatile. I can wear it all year round. I'll look flawless all year round, and I don't have to, you know, worry about it too much. With this one, I like I said, I noticed that a little bit of my oil was seeping through, and because it is full coverage, it just started to look like, oh, well, you know, she has a beat face, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Not just like skin. It didn't look like skin after a while. And right now it doesn't look like skin. It's not supposed to. It's a very full coverage matte foundation, which is for going out at night. So that's why it's called all nighter. So just know that there is a difference between these two. And I know we like to put them in the same category because they are the same company, but they're two different foundations, you guys. Overall, I would say I really do like this foundation. I would give it, if I give this foundation a 9, I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. Simply because, like I said, I do notice oil seeping through after a while that I don't notice as much with my Urban Decay Naked Skin. And the only reason, another reason why I had to take some points off is because of the oxidation of this foundation. And I'm sure it's just because it is such a full coverage. You can't really control what the pigments are going to do once they apply to the skin and hit the elements. You know what I mean? So after a while, yes, this does turn pink. If they can't fix that, I do feel like they should have more in between shades, or make the exact shades in a neutral undertone and also in a warmer undertone as well, just so that we could all wear this foundation without having to worry about it, or, you know, turning orange or red or pink on us after a while. Because if you walk out the house and you feel flawless, and then 3 hours later you look like a Oompa Loompa, like, that's not the move, right? Like, we're not here for that. So love this foundation. Like I said, I would give it a 7.5 to an 8, depending. So yeah, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope I was thorough. When I do these, I kind of feel like I'm just rambling, but I really do hope that you guys were able to get something out of it. I would definitely recommend you try out this foundation. And if you haven't, you guys know I will always recommend my Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. It's my tried and true. I love that foundation so much. So I will never let it go. But on those nights where I want to just be beat to capacity, I'll be bringing out my all-nighter foundation, and I may even try setting it with their all-nighter spray. I don't use a setting spray usually that's going to prolong my foundation, but that may work in conjunction with this really well, and I may not have any oil seeping through. But I wore this foundation as if I would any other foundation, and those were the kind of cons that I noticed throughout the day. So again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up this video if you like these types of videos. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and stay tuned for other videos by me. Of course, if you have any questions, leave those in the comment section below, or any suggestions for videos, leave me a comment, email me, or drop me a message on Instagram, okay? So I will talk to you girls on my next one. Bye.